Alex Polizzi is an award-winning hotelier with over 20 years' experience of working in the world's most luxurious hotels. Born into the legendary Forte hotel dynasty, she's on a crusade to transform Britain's most desperate hotels and B&Bs.
It looks like it's been ridden hard, this old pony.
From outrageous owners to dodgy decor.
I don't know who the decorator was, but she deserves to be bitch-slapped.
Nothing escapes the hotel inspector's beady eye.
Roasted fingernail swamp.
She's like a spy.
Or her quest for perfection.
Why are you ranked the worst? That's the question that I'm asking you.
It's a complete false lie.
This week, Alex returns to the African Queen, a business that once struggled to stay afloat.
Unbelievably, Andy doesn't have enough diesel on board the boat. I feel a slight sinking feeling, actually.
3 years on, will everything be shipshape?
Ooh, gosh, there's quite a few scratches on the boat. Look at this. Andy!
Or will Alex get that sinking feeling all over again?
We've got an hour before everyone arrives.
Oh, dear.
It is yours to win or completely cock up.
3 years ago, hotel inspector Alex Polizzi visited the African Queen, a unique B&B on the River Thames. Now she's on her way back.
I'm returning to one of the more unusual hotels I've ever visited, an 85-year-old Dutch barge that was converted into a floating 8-bedroom hotel.
South Africans Andy and Bonnie Cowley bought the boat after running a successful hotel and restaurant on the Isle of Wight. The experience was anything but plain sailing.
I didn't tighten this blooming thing. I took the wheel off the other day and I didn't tighten it enough. Oh, I'm on the wrong side of the river.
We knew the river, we knew how to run a hotel, and we also had the restaurant experience. So we thought, we're going to fly, you know, this is going to be fun, great. We didn't have any opposition, but it didn't work like that.
When I was last here, the couple had been running short break cruises in the summer months and more conventional bed and breakfast when the boat was moored up in the winter. But with occupancy rates as low as 13%, Andy and Bonnie were struggling to keep their heads above water.
We cannot meet our obligations with the bank at the moment. If we didn't do something drastic, we would probably lose the business.
And when they did have guests, they were trying to do all that work on their own, navigating the river.
If we breach the boat, we're in deep, deep trouble.
Mooring up, keeping the boat shipshape.
No, not that one. This one.
Making the beds, serving their guests.
Bye then, folks. Come again. Bring your wallets.
All that was pushing them to breaking point.
We've got no electricity. What are we going to do?
I don't know, love. I'm going to try and get the
You're
thing
going to not
started.
get it started, man. Don't talk junk.
I've done it before. At the end of each cruise, I've got to go and give the old turn of the grease gun to push grease into the gland packing, otherwise we'll sink. And here you are serving at the bar and you think, hey, wait a minute, we're sinking.
Oh, what have I done?
Andy and Bonnie's unique floating B&B was in dire straits.
We are not old enough to retire yet, and we haven't got any money, so we've just got to keep going, you know. We just have to make it work.
3 years ago, Andy and Bonnie sent out a distress flare, and the hotel inspector answered the call.
At the moment, I'm a bit ashamed of the boat. Andy's had a go at painting it, and he's got the worst peak. He's the worst decorator you could come across.
Well, a bit nervous, to say the least. I mean, it's almost like waiting outside the headmaster's office, you know what I mean? I was nervous and I was always outside the headmaster's office.
It's not a thing of great beauty, is it? It's certainly not glamorous. Looks rather like a floating porter cabin. Hello.
Hello, careful coming up the gangplank. Hold tight. Welcome aboard.
Andy, Alex Polizzi.
How do you do?
Nice to meet
see
you.
Come on in.
Thank you. Thank
Right,
you.
There's Bonnie in there.
Lovely to meet you, Alex Polizzi. Hello. How are you?
I'm well, thanks, and you?
Thank you for inviting me.
That's good. It's a pleasure.
To get a flavour of what the hotel had to offer, Alex ventured below deck.
Here's the superior suite.
At 3.5 by 4 metres, room 1 was the largest cabin.
See you in a minute.
Okay.
There's obviously an electric blanket on the bed, which would be much appreciated on a damp river. Nice linen and a proper blanket, thank goodness. And a very adequate little chest of drawers. In small scale, they've got absolutely everything they need. There's a mirror, there's somewhere to put your makeup, there's a chair in the room. So I think at least the minimum requirements are definitely being met.
Prices ranged from £72 a night bed and breakfast up to £175 per night when cruising.
Well, it's tight, but it's perfectly acceptable. It really is. In fact, it's rather romantic.
The rooms passed muster. But Alex soon discovered how rudderless the African Queen really was.
He's not a very good waiter.
No more. I don't want you letting us down.
I will not let you down.
It's important.
Three years ago, the African Queen, a floating hotel, was floundering. Despite its desirable River Thames location, owners Bonnie and Andy Cowley were struggling to attract enough guests.
What a life, eh? What a life. If we were making money, it'd be fantastic, wouldn't it?
The couple had made an SOS call to the hotel inspector. Alex discovered all of the 8 cabins to be small and basic, but otherwise acceptable. Next, she wanted to check out the service. She booked herself in for dinner to sample Bonnie's signature South African cuisine.
Got
You've
my
got the
instructions,
message.
my love. I'll do my best.
As well as being skipper, navigator and ship's engineer, Andy was also the barman and the waiter.
Tell me about peri-peri sauce.
Peri-peri sauce, everyone thinks it's a Portuguese word. It's actually, it's not Portuguese, it's an African word. It comes from
I'm not sure what he's saying because he gets it all wrong each time. He's not a very good waiter.
Though Andy wasn't a world-class waiter, he did prove he could talk the hind legs off a springbok.
What is it?
Now, bobotie is minced beef, basically cooked in a lot of fruit. So it's got
He loves people. He's drawn to people like a magnet.
a lot of people understand curries to be very hot, but basically the Malay.
Yeah, it's a little bit isolated, so he's got nobody to talk. If anybody comes, like fishermen and everything, he's out there like a shot.
Each recipe varies from family to family.
And if the guests are here, he doesn't either. He stays up all night talking to them.
In the old days, it depended on how much fruit there was and how much meat there was, depending on the wealth of the family. So
And I say, please let them eat and stay away. But he's just drawn there, you know, so.
Alex, I'll just put that there on the stove for you.
Thank you very much. I'll just
Careful you don't burn your little fingers. And bon appetit.
Thank you so much, Andy.
He can't stay away from people when they're trying to eat their food. He hovers over everybody while they're eating.
Just be careful, it's a bit, you know, the old stove is a bit slippery, so...
Okay,
just
my
be
darling,
careful.
I'll be careful. Chicken's delicious.
To get him through the inspection, Andy relied on a little Dutch courage, but Bonnie wasn't happy.
I don't want you drinking anymore. You've drunk a whole glass of wine within 5 minutes. You
Okay.
get drunk.
I'll be
Please
very
don't
careful.
Do it.
Okay.
No, don't. No more. Please, no more. I don't want you letting us down.
I will not let you down.
It's important. Please don't let us down.
The hotel inspector retired well fed, but the evening was far from the demonstration of slick professionalism she demanded, and it wasn't a happy ship.
You've let me down again, always the same. You have? Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. I didn't think about it.
The next day, Alex delivered her verdict on Andy and Bonnie's African Queen. First, there was the quality of service.
I think we need to employ some staff for you, for this business to go forward. And Andy, I think you need to be more aware of when it's appropriate to chat to guests and when it is to step back.
She's been telling me that for a while, haven't you, love? That's
Yes.
just ganging up on me. No, I'll try my best.
This
I will
is
be.
Alex telling you now. You
I
have
know,
to listen.
I know.
I do think that you're missing a couple of tricks. There's some very nice touches that you do. For example, the electric blankets on the beds, much appreciated, very, very nice. I do think that people, though, appreciate enormously anything that they feel adds value, that they are paying something, but they're getting more than they expected. For example, when people go to bed, ask them if they'd like a thermos flask of either tea or coffee. If you did that and put 2 biscuits in every room, and that was something that everyone got every evening if they wanted it, you know, it just makes you feel special. It makes you feel a bit spoiled.
Next was the African Queen's scruffy exterior.
You have a chance to make a first impression only once, and that first impression is never eradicated. So when people arrive here, just the outside of the boat has to make them excited to get on, and then they're so much more forgiving about any little hiccups.
Lastly, more effort needed to be made in the marketing.
Now, you have a very nice product. I think that you have to pick up your game a bit, because I find it amazing that such a unique product isn't out in the public domain more.
Okay.
Okay? Here endeth the lesson.
Alex disembarked the African Queen, leaving its skippers with some clear objectives.
I think next time she comes, she'll be amazed at how I've improved on this. Don't worry. I think it'll be okay. I'm going to try my hardest. You know, what else can you do? I mean, my whole livelihood depends on it. Can't, you know, box it up, can I, really?
Andy might have claimed to be a new man, but Alex needed convincing. So she secretly sent a couple to check in for a romantic birthday treat.
Oh, this is very nice. I didn't expect anything like this.
And they monitored Andy's every move.
Hello.
Hello there.
I'm Bonnie.
Hello,
there.
nice to meet you.
Right.
Hope you have a lovely stay.
Thank you very much.
This is a really nice setup here, so looking forward to the evening. Thank you.
I'm glad you enjoy it.
Yeah. You know, I'm always wanting to go, I think Alex said, better keep quiet.
It was a positive start, but with Bonnie confined to the galley, Captain Andy soon started going overboard.
And then I thought, well, I'm not going to, you know, I won't shave with this thing, so I'll go. So I grew a beard, and I thought, well, and then I got married. I got married without a beard, that's right. So it was after I got married. I was 26 that I decided to grow a beard because of the ingrown hair. I decided, right, Bonnie said, I can't stand this beard, shave it off. And it was summer and it was hot, and I thought, I'll shave it. Anyway, I woke up in the morning and the little girl, she came.
The next day saw the return of the hotel inspector.
So, you know your guests in there?
Yes.
I have a confession to make.
Okay.
I asked them to come here and stay with you last night.
Oh.
How did you feel like you got on, Andy?
Well, I was very restrained.
Were you?
Yeah.
You held back, did you?
Yes, I was. And then I remembered, no, go away.
Okay, let's go and see if they do have any comments that may help us.
Okay.
We thought these were nice people, and they turned out to be spies.
Lance! Is there anything that you think could have been improved on for your evening? For example, the service, how was that?
I think Andy was very keen to please.
One of the things that is difficult is that when someone asks a question, you don't go and give too much information and bore people. All right, so just give them what answers that they need, and then leave them alone, walk away, and let them enjoy their meals or whatever.
So are you suggesting in a very kind and polite manner that there was potentially not quite enough walking away from Andy?
Yes. At times. I mean, he has to have awareness of what the guests want.
Yeah, so there it is. I did it again. I thought I'd done well.
It was clear that Andy still had some way to go before he learned what was needed to be a great host.
I think overall I've been quite kind to Andy because I think in general he's incredibly self-indulgent about how he treats this boat and how he treats their business. This is not here to provide him with entertainment of an evening. It's here to provide him with a stable financial future. And so he has to focus less on what makes him happy and focus more on what makes guests happy.
When you're driving a boat, you obviously have to learn to navigate it and not hit things, which I've done, I think. But now it's a little more subtle looking after people. I mean, if you make a mistake on a boat and you hit a bridge, it's quite obvious where you've made the mistake. Whereas if you've made a mistake when you're looking after people and when they're on a romantic weekend, it's not always apparent that you've made the mistake.
Andy agreed to steer a more conservative course. So Alex got to work on the next part of her plan, creating an unforgettable first impression. Her design team got to work transforming the weather-worn exterior into a nostalgic 1930s black, white and red colour scheme.
It's neat and clean, isn't it?
And to help the African Queen's marketing effort, Alex added bright, eye-catching branded windbreaks to heighten awareness of the hotel's charms to passers-by.
Yeah, happy as Larry. I'm a bit nervous now. The boat looks a bit too posh for me. You know, it's beginning to look really nice.
Inside, new blinds and soft furnishings completed the vision.
Just the touches of colour that are being introduced just looks amazing. I'm really very, very excited about the whole thing.
With the transformation of the boat's image underway, it was time to tackle Andy and Bonnie's lack of professionalism.
David.
Hey, Andy.
Good afternoon. Come aboard.
They'd been struggling to run the floating hotel and look after guests at the same time. So Alex wanted them to employ an experienced member of staff to up service levels and free them to concentrate on their business.
I see that you've actually worked on the Kiwi too.
That's right.
Well, that must be a bit different from the African Queen.
Yes.
The extra help on board meant Bonnie could now work on adding Alex's special little extras to help raise the B&B above the competition.
Alex said that to make people feel special, you should have these little extras in the room. And she suggested that, firstly, I have a flask because she felt like a cup of tea and she didn't feel like coming out of the cabin in her gown and meeting Andy, obviously.
2 months after her last visit, Alex was back to check on progress.
I can't wait to see it. I'm hoping that since my redesign, it's really going to stand out and sell itself.
Andy and Bonnie's once scruffy and uninspiring barge had been transformed into a smart, stylish river cruiser.
Wow, that looks so much better. I love all the red. It looks smart. It looks very clean. It gives an amazing first impression. I think I'd be pretty excited now to arrive here and know that I was staying on the African Queen.
Inside, new soft furnishings continue the elegant, nostalgic theme.
Bonnie! Oh, hello. How are you? I'm fine, and you?
I'm so thrilled with how the boat's looking.
Yeah, it looks amazing, doesn't it?
And you've also hired someone, haven't you?
Yes, I have. He started on Tuesday, and he's proving to be really exactly what I wanted.
Are you training him or is Andy training him?
No, I am training him too.
Good. Okay, just checking.
But could Andy and Bonnie match the boat's new, slick and professional image?
I'm
unbelievably, Andy doesn't have enough diesel on board the boat. I feel a slight sinking feeling, actually.
The African Queen, a floating B&B on the River Thames, owned by Andy and Bonnie Cowley. Suffering pitiful occupancy rates and spiralling debts, they called on the help of hotel inspector Alex Polizzi. Underwhelmed by the boat's appearance and faced with a distinct dearth of marketing, she completely revamped the hotel's exterior. Next, she wanted Andy and Bonnie to start exploiting the boat's new image. She sent them on a mission to cruise up and down the Thames, armed with flyers to hawk their mobile hotel to potential guests.
Hello. Hiya.
But en route, there was a slip in concentration.
Bugger it. I scraped it right on the corner.
Followed by an unwelcome discovery.
You know what? The electricity's gone.
Oh, you're joking.
Huh? There's something wrong with your inverter or something then, Andy. There's something very wrong.
Can't understand it. There's just spent about £1,000 on batteries and it's not working.
With the power out, the mission was aborted. They limped into nearby Henley to make repairs.
I've got my generator battery's flat.
We haven't had a very good day, have we?
It wasn't the dynamic marketing drive that Alex had hoped for. Time to take a new tack. Alex wanted Andy and Bonnie to put on an event designed to raise their profile in the press and sell their unique venue to Reading's large corporate market.
We've got 10 days to be ready for the junket with the media, and everything has to be 100%.
Okay.
None of this.
Yes, madam.
None of this breaking down. You've got to have it right.
Bonnie tried to generate some press interest for the big event.
Okay. We're having a marketing drive on our boat called the African Queen, and we wondered if you would like to join us.
While Andy targeted the movers and shakers of the local business community.
I wonder if you'd like to join us on as we're having a little party. Can you hear me? Brian? It's gone dead on me. Hey, Brian? Hello? Oh, that's no good then.
As the big day drew near, the couple were anxious they might make the wrong kind of splash.
I'm feeling a little bit nervous because I've got quite a lot to do still. I hope nothing's going to go wrong, but you never know with a boat.
A boat sort of sinks or something, and they all got wet. Wouldn't be nice, would it? But that would be the worst thing, or... Yeah, I think that would be it. Or even the skipper fell overboard. That wouldn't be too good either. It's happened before.
The big day arrived, and a chance to showcase their unique B&B to the press and corporate market. They'd take a short cruise and have dinner, with the journalists enjoying an overnight stay. Andy's challenge was not to step back, but to step up, turn on the charm, and sell all that was good about his floating hotel. On board were travel editors from national newspapers and glossy magazines, plus the great and the good of the local business world.
So if you'd like to sit down and make yourself at home.
But Andy was doing little to reassure these important clients.
This thing was rolling like it's almost as if she was going to turn over. I went downstairs, I found myself a foot deep in water. The boat was sinking.
I would like to interject at this point. He is perfectly competent on the water. Can I give you a word of advice? As you have journalists, don't tell them anything that ever goes wrong. Keep your mouth shut, and you're painting a perfect picture of life on board. So you do not need to tell them about technical problems. Yeah, no. Just be careful what you say.
I will, yeah.
Okay?
Good advice.
With Andy and Bonnie's guests ready to start the cruise, there was just one thing missing.
We're slightly delayed because, unbelievably, Andy doesn't have enough diesel on board the boat. They came here to cruise. We're now losing the best of the night, and I don't feel it's going quite as well as it could do. I feel a slight sinking feeling, actually.
Ready to rock and roll?
An hour behind schedule, the African Queen finally set sail for a short showcase cruise.
Oh, for shit's sake.
It was a rocky start, but fortunately, most of the guests seemed content to sit back and enjoy the view.
Absolutely lovely. Yes, very nice.
But Alex was worried the riverside scenery might not have been enough to win over all the passengers.
Neither of them seem to understand the basic premise that we've invited these people on board to try and sell their product. Bonnie's always said that her forte is not chatting up the guests. But Andy just seemed completely at sea.
Alex gave me a stern talking to about not being attentive to the guests. She gave me a lashing, I must say. It's like having two wives with her on board. Bonnie's always moaning at me too about everything. And so I'm getting quite used to it now.
Despite the turbulent start, for the corporate crowd it was a welcome break from the boardroom.
So peaceful, so quiet. And if you get bored, you can moor it anywhere you like in this part of the river. It's absolutely brilliant. I'll definitely recommend it, yeah.
Just something different to possibly having people in our boardroom at work is to bring them onto a boat like the African Queen and go for a little cruise and just spoil people.
The business people were clearly won over, but were the journalists so easily charmed?
I've only been in a room this small when I actually went to Cape Town and went to Robben Island when Nelson Mandela was incarcerated and saw his jail cell, which was about the same size. But to be fair, it's not as small as I thought it would be. I think I can just about stretch out.
Fortunately, Bonnie's extras seemed to be doing the trick. Branded mugs providing both a warm treat and an added marketing presence.
A room this size, and it's a cabin, you're not going to spend that much time in. The strengths are Andy and Bonnie, particularly Bonnie's cooking is absolutely superb.
So did a night on board generate the necessary reviews to bail out this leaking business? Next morning, it was smiles all round.
Well, it was a pleasure meeting you. Your taxi should be here any minute.
Thank you very much.
And I hope you enjoyed yourself. And,
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's really wonderful, and I wish you every success with it.
Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself.
Thanks ever
and
so much.
It was nice meeting you
Best
too.
night's sleep in weeks. Thank you.
Well, it's the peace and quiet, I hope, around here.
We'll give you a nice write-up.
Lovely.
Bye-bye.
Thanks very much.
Bye.
Oh, she's got lovely legs, that woman. Well, she's got lovely everything, really.
Alex had to navigate Andy and Bonnie through some pretty stormy waters, but it was all worth it.
The response was great. As expected, they all raved about your food. They all loved the cruising. They thought you were very hospitable, both of you. Once you hit your stride, you came out here and you were absolutely charming. You were the best Andy possible. You really did do a very good job at kind of being quite self-deprecating and all those things which are so attractive about you.
Alex, I think what we've got to do to remind me of the advice you gave me is to have a photograph of you on the bar going like this.
Goodbye, Bonnie.
Goodbye.
And I hope your season goes really well. Oh, dear.
Well, this is very embarrassing.
Don't be embarrassed. You behave
Thanks for all your
yourself,
help. I'll
you
do my
naughty
best.
man. You naughty, charming man. Be a good boy.
I'll try to be.
All right?
Yeah.
And listen, darling, I'm here if I can help, OK?
Thank you.
I really mean it.
Yeah, thanks.
OK? All right, darling.
Okay.
3 years later, and Alex is back. Will Andy and Bonnie and the African Queen still be afloat?
I'm hoping to discover that Andy and Bonnie are finally out of the doldrums and it's now all plain sailing.
To prepare for the visit, Alex has arranged for some secret filming.
Well, here's the old girl. Ooh, gosh, there's quite a few scratches on the boat. But there is someone now tackling those scratches, obviously a member of staff, which is a good start.
Hello, how do you do?
Are they treating you well?
Oh, yes. Especially this fella. Andy's a lovely boy.
Ah, a second member of staff.
I used to do everything, washing and ironing and the cleaning. And Alex said to me, you have to get staff. Cherry's been with us for 3 years and Bobby's been with us for over a year now. Cherry and Bobby are like my children, I suppose. They're just so... We're like a big family here.
Down to the bedrooms. Let's see, have they remembered to do things like the tea trays? Yes, mugs with the African Queen name on them. Gosh, there's not much to berate them with so far. The only thing I can't see here is whether Andy is still outstaying his welcome with the guests. I imagine that's something I'm going to have to try out for myself.
But on closer inspection, will the African Queen be shipshape? And can its crew rise to the challenge when Alex decides to give them another big push?
We've got an hour before everyone arrives.
Oh dear.
It is yours to win or completely cock up.
3 years ago, Hotel Inspector Alex Polizzi rode to the rescue of the African Queen, a floating B&B on the River Thames. Now she's back to see if the business is still buoyant.
There's the old girl. She doesn't look in too bad, Nick.
I think Alex is here.
Yeah, she's...
Is she?
Yes, she's here.
Are you nervous?
Yes, it's
Why?
a meter.
I think she's going to bite your head off, love.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Hi, Bobby.
I'm Alex.
Oh, that's nice to meet you, Alex.
Thanks.
Come on board.
Thank you. Lovely to see. You two, you look so well. Give us a kiss, naughty.
Nice to see you.
So, did Alex's improvements and marketing drive have the desired effect?
Tell me everything. How's it been going the last 3 years?
Been going very well.
Yeah?
For 2 years we were solidly booked out completely.
The best thing that out of you being with us 3 years ago,
Yeah.
was our quality of life has changed.
Yeah.
You know, we work but we can enjoy the fruits of our efforts. You know, we've been on holiday a couple of times, and we've been into London lots of times. You know, to go just relax and get off the boat. All paid for by Alex, which was very nice.
Well, I'm glad I was so effective, darling.
But it appears Andy and Bonnie have failed to follow up on some of Alex's advice.
What have you done to keep the kind of publicity levels up?
We don't advertise very much. We've only got our website.
Yeah.
That's basically our advertising.
Yeah.
This year started off a little bit slower.
That's why one has to kind of constantly remind people that you're here.
Alex has a plan to make sure the passenger list remains a long one.
The one aspect of spending that hasn't really been affected in this recession is weddings. People still get married, people still want to have the day of their dreams. It's unbelievable how resilient that market has been. So I want us to try and get some wedding trade. I've got a lot of wedding planners and organisers who are very enthusiastic about the idea. They're coming in 2 hours.
So it's all hands on deck to get ready for the special event, designed to showcase the African Queen as a quirky and romantic wedding venue.
I hope that we'll be able to impress everybody with today's cruise and the buffet.
I run a very tight ship here, and everything has to go according to plan. Yeah, that'll be all right.
While Andy and Bonnie get the buffet and boat ready, Alex checks the rooms down below.
Well, this this is all looking quite nice. You know, nice new black and white curtains. Uh-oh. Though, look at this. There's quite a few cobwebs up there. Used earbud. Very dirty drawer. Never a good look. Andy! Andy! Andy!
Oh dear.
Darling, I don't know who is responsible for cleaning, but come with me. I don't blame you, I blame your supervisor.
That's me, Bobby, that's me.
That's you, right?
Come.
Go take your medicine, Bobby.
My medicine?
No.
He's in trouble, isn't he? That'll teach him.
Look at this. Here.
Oh, my. I forgot, sorry.
So, I want to make sure that every drawer is checked.
Okay, yeah.
In every room. You know, we've got people coming around, this place has got to look immaculate. And also, darling, look, cobwebs here.
Oh, see here.
Andy! You've only got 8 bedrooms.
Yeah,
And
no,
they're
it's true.
teeny.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yes, you've done it again. So there we are. We'll try our best to get to your standard. Wow, hello.
To get the guests in the mood and provide some brand new marketing shots, Alex has arranged for a model bride to come aboard.
Oh, it's a beautiful, lovely girl. Oh, you've got lovely eyes too.
But as Alex and the crew frantically prepare for the VIP guests, it's clear that Andy's addiction to chatting hasn't quite been cured.
Oh, it's a long story, that one. There's also a water tap there. And some old chap came along and switched the tap off.
Sweetheart, I do hate to interrupt you in your fantastic
what am I
stories.
doing?
Do you want to get some glasses out and things like that?
What glasses?
Well, maybe...
I don't need glasses, I've got... Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Look, these people are here because they're interested in the African Queen. So it is yours to win or completely cock up. You know, it is in your hands. So please, darling, I do not want to see you sitting down with anybody. Okay, I want to see you hovering. Okay?
Yep.
Attentively, mentally keeping your mind, answer any questions in 100 words or less.
Okay.
Okay? Everybody, action stations. Shall we? Thank you.
Among the guests to arrive are wedding planners and future bride and grooms.
Hello there, I'm Tony. Nice to meet you.
Come on, sit down there, we get you a drink or something. What do you do then?
I do wedding planning and wedding events.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
Would you like something to drink?
I'll have a glass of white wine, please.
It's okay, we'll get it for you, thank you. Bobby, one more white.
Sausage rolls.
Below deck, Bonnie does a tour of the new spotlessly clean rooms.
This is the twin room, which is a nice big room. One of our guests who often comes here, she always says when her husband snores, she always prods him with her walking stick.
Yeah, I definitely think it could be romantic. I mean, even though you've got enough space to be with each other, it's still quite intimate and it's really quirky as well, which makes it different. I think that's really nice if you want to have a romantic getaway.
Meanwhile, Andy entertains the guests.
It's a beautiful venue, it really is. It's the wind in the willows, isn't it? That's what it's all
It's very much so. Yeah.
All clear, Bobby?
Yes, Mr. Andy.
All clear, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Andy.
With Andy now in full flow, he takes his guests on a tour upriver to demonstrate the romantic possibilities of the African Queen.
Come on, you old dog. Oh, she's a sod to handle this thing. She's worse than the missus.
The VIP passengers are smitten.
It would be quite nice to have friends invited to a pub en route and for you guys to arrive by boat and meet them there, wouldn't it?
It's really peaceful. I can really imagine us being out here. And maybe have, like, some of our family with us as well.
It's
stunning. This is so different from the norm. To be able to wake up the following morning in the venue and then to go up the river, maybe have some lunch up the river, it just makes for a whole weekend experience as opposed to just a one-day thing.
I think my clients would love to be part of this.
Oh, good. Permission to board?
Oh, come aboard the bridge. This is where it all happens.
Darling, they think you're great. They like it. I'm amazed.
You're amazed? I'm amazed as well.
With a whole new market opening up for the African Queen, it's time for Alex to disembark for the final time, leaving Andy and Bonnie with one last parting gift.
Last time I was here, do you remember you said that what you really needed was a warning picture of me keeping my eye on you?
Yes, I do remember you.
Yeah, well, here it is.
Let's have a look. Oh, no! Oh, that is going to scare me to death, isn't it? I'll put that on the bar.
Next time he starts whittering, darling, to someone, just tap it.
Careful now.
Yeah.
Bon voyage.
It was lovely to come back and see Andy and Bonnie again. I've been looking forward to it enormously. Hopefully, all these wedding planners will help somehow and also encourage them to think a bit outside the box. They've got quite complacent. They did very well to last until now, considering that 3 years ago they didn't think they were going to survive the season. It's amazing they've got as far as they have. Hopefully, I've managed to put a bit of wind back into their sails.
Like she says, you've got to get out there. You can't just sit back and think, you know, things are going to happen. You have to go and sell yourself.
Thank you, Alex, and cheers. It's going to terrify me every time I look at it, like a nightmare, more or less.
There's just one more day before we find out who will be the top dog in the Celebrity Big Brother house, all to play for next on Channel 5. While on 5 Star Next, Patrick Jane treads a very fine line in The Mentalist.